Why do artists have to wait for about 6 months to a year to varnish their oil painting? Let's discuss that now. Let's understand that every artist works differently, right? Some like to use very heavy textures in their oil paints, and some artists like me use very thin layers. So naturally, my oil paintings will be touch dry quickly, and the whole process will be quicker than the ones who've used heavy layers. Now, even if an oil painting dries from the top layer, it will still be curing from beneath the surfaces. And oil paintings dry through the process of oxidization. Now, keeping that in mind, art restoration experts and museum conservators understood how oil paints actually work and how artists use them, and accordingly they decided that the 6 month is basically the safest time period when you can varnish your oil painting. 1 year is like the perfect time when nothing can go wrong. That's a surety that after 1 year, if you varnish your oil paintings, regardless of how many layers you've used in that, your paintings would be safe. The actual fear is that if you varnish your paintings before the 6 month timeline, there will be chances of your painting cracking because varnish will trap the solvents, the drying process will slow down. It's one thing you must avoid. For someone like me who uses very thin layers, I think about 4 to 5 months is very ideal for me to apply final varnish. I have not had an issue. Before that, I've never tried it out. So if you use very thick layers, then I think about a year is perfect. Now, for example, if you're working for a client and they want the painting by the next month, of course you can't varnish that painting. So you have to use a temporary varnish, which is called the retouch varnish. I use the Winston & Newton retouch varnish. It's just like a temporary layer, which is not as thick as the final varnish is. It basically does add a protection layer over your painting. Works in the same manner, but it's just a lighter version. It's very safe if you have to package your painting, put it on display or anything of that sort. You can use a retouch varnish, and then after a year's time you can just contact the buyer once again and discuss on how you want to apply a final protection. When applying retouch varnish, you just have to touch your painting and see if it's touch dry. If any paint comes off on your hand, just like avoid, take some time. If it's well dried off on the surface, just apply a thin layer of retouch and then you're good to go. So yes, varnishing is actually amazing. Love the way it brings back the vibrancy of my colors, and I'm just going to varnish all of my old paintings. So either way, patience and care makes all the difference. If I have any questions about the retouch varnish or the final varnish, let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.